Welcome to another Unitrends training. Today we're going to be talking about what is UB. UB, or the Unitrends backup software, is a deployable virtual appliance for VMware, Hyper-V, Nutanix AHV, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. This offers enterprise scalability with easy-to-understand licensing and ransomware predictive analytics built in, along with all the great enterprise features that you would expect, like deduplication. We also add the ability to test these backups automatically, both local and in our cloud, ensuring that you can get your data off-site and that it will always be recoverable. From an infrastructure standpoint, we'll have our local environment, be it physical, virtual, or NAS devices that get backed up to our virtual Linux appliance. We can take that data and we can do off-site copies either to a NAS, SAN, tape, or cloud device, or even removable disks. Or you can choose to replicate that to a hot location, like your own privately hosted recovery site or the Unitrends cloud, where we also offer disaster recovery as a service, where we can spin your data up in our hosts. From a deployment perspective, again, this is really easy to do. You'll just go to our website and download the appropriate version for the hypervisor that you're using. You'll need around 300 gigabytes of space to do this test. You'll deploy out a base OS disk of 100 gigs and then add 200 gigs of backup storage. The full system requirements list are available here at this link as well, so if you need more information, please visit that. Now, again, once inside here, we have the base OS disk of 100 gigs, and then we add additional backup storage. Via the VM host management, we can use any hypervisor-compatible storage to add additional storage to our virtual machine. And we can add additional disks to grow that volume over time as you need to grow additional storage. This means that if you need more retention, we just add more storage to the appliance. If you add more systems, we just add more storage to the appliance. And we can always outgrow that or migrate that, or we can continue to grow that or migrate it to another location if we ever outgrow that location, since it's all VM storage. Though we can support NFS and iSCSI Direct to our appliance, though this typically is not the preferred method. Again, I talked about ransomware protection. We are running on a Linux appliance, meaning we've got a hardened kernel, immutable storage, and we're going to make sure that we can add things like two-factor authentication, predictive analytics to understand if we see things that look out of the normal in your data, and we'll also be able to test and verify your backups on a regular basis. And of course, how is this licensed? If we're backing up virtualized assets, we're going to license by the number of CPU sockets populated on the virtual host. Many hosts today have two processors, meaning that they would need a two-socket license, and this only is specifically when virtualization is in use. When we don't have virtualization in the environment, we're backing these up as assets. So individual servers, PCs, or a NAS device. A single NAS is just one license, even if it's got multiple shares, and we support pretty much any NAS device. If it supports NFS or CIFS, it's a NAS, and we can protect that data. We also have the recovery assurance, where we can stand up and test and verify your backups, giving you a custom DR runbook, letting you know for beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is tested, verifiable backups that will recover and how long it takes, including validating things like applications underneath that system. So even if you need to know that Active Directory and SQL start and talk to each other, we can now orchestrate that whole thing. And if there's any problems in the environment, we can notify you that as well. So let's dive into the UI and actually see what this looks like. In this environment here, you can see that I have UB2. UB2 has a base OS disk of 100 gigabytes, and then over time I've added additional hard drives to this machine to grow the appliance. I've done mine in 500 gigabyte increments, but they can be done in any size as necessary. This environment has a single host, and this virtual host has two sockets populated, meaning that I would need a two-socket license in order to be able to protect this environment. If we were to look at this environment here, we actually have 5 of these hosts. And each one of these hosts, again, has a 2-socket license. So I would need a total of 10 sockets to protect these 5 hosts, and a total of 2 sockets to protect this one host. The rest of this will be covered through the Unitrends installation services. If you do choose to purchase a Unitrends appliance, we'll be happy to walk you through the installation step by step and ensure that you have all the information you need in order to be able to do a test and recovery of any of your data on demand. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.